The more the mind catastrophizes, the more the body hurts. It is built into your biology. That's why just stop worrying almost never works. A text doesn't come back. A pain flicks in your chest. Your boss says, "We need to talk." And in 3 seconds, your mind has built an entire disaster, one that hasn't happened and probably never will. We call it catastrophic thinking, and almost everyone believes it's just in your head, a bad habit you should be able to talk yourself out of. I'm a psychiatrist, and after 30 years, I can tell you that's wrong. Worst case thinking reaches into your gut, your hormones, your brain waves, and your sense of who you are. Today, I will show you exactly what it does to your body and more importantly, what actually helps. Daniel is in his 40s, successful, responsible, and the person everyone relies on. But for years, his mind has run a quiet engine in the background, always scanning for what could go wrong. A delayed email means he's about to be fired. A headache means something serious. His daughter is 10 minutes late, and he has already imagined the accident. None of this happens, but his body doesn't know that. By the time he reaches my office, Daniel is exhausted in a way sleep doesn't fix. His stomach is unsettled, his shoulders are tight, and he wakes at 3 in the morning, heart pounding, bracing for a disaster that never comes. He told me something I hear constantly. I'm tired of fighting battles that never happen. Daniel has been told his anxiety was psychological, just stress, just his personality. But through the framework I use with every patient, I call the ACEs, anatomy, chemistry, energy, and soul, I saw something different. I saw a whole body paying the price for thoughts that were never true. Let me take you through all 4. Start with a physical body anatomy. Here's the key fact. When your mind imagines danger, your body cannot tell the difference between an imagined threat and a real one. It reacts as if the disaster is happening right now. Your stress system switches on, heart speeds up, muscle tense, digestion shuts down, because in an emergency, the body doesn't waste energy digesting lunch. That's a brilliant system when there's a real tiger in front of you. But with catastrophic thinking, the alarm never fully turns off. Over time, the constant alarm wears the body down. Sleep goes shallow, muscles stay tight and begin to ache, the gut suffers, digestion slows, the gut lining weakens, the healthy bacteria fall out of balance, and that gut-brain line runs in both directions. And here's something most people don't know. In the pain research, catastrophic thinking is one of the strongest predictors of how much pain a person actually feels. The more the mind catastrophizes, the more the body hurts. Your body is paying the bill for disasters that never arrive. Let's go one layer deeper, chemistry. Constant worst-case thinking means constant stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, produced day after day. And producing them has a cost. It burns through your nutrients, magnesium, zinc, B vitamins, the very nutrients your brain needs to stay calm. So, a cycle begins. Stress burns the calming nutrients. No nutrients leaves the brain more reactive. A more reactive brain makes more stress. At the same time, your calming chemistry, serotonin, GABA, the off switch for anxiety goes down. Your alarm chemistry, glutamate, norepinephrine, goes up, and inflammation rises, including the brain. which research links to worse mood and foggy thinking. This is the part people miss. Once the chemistry has shifted, the worry is no longer only a thought. It is built into your biology. That's why just stop worrying almost never works. The third layer is energy. In my practice, we sometimes map the brain with quantitative EEG or qEEG, a kind of brain map that measures electronic activities across regions and compares it to thousands of healthy brains. In people who live in catastrophic thinking, we often see a recognizable pattern. Too much fast, high-frequency activities, a brain stuck in high gear, running, scanning, bracing, a brain that has forgotten how to rest. Classical Chinese medicine discussed this same exhaustion thousands of years ago in a different language. Fear drains the kidney energy. Worry weakens the spleen. Frustration blocks the flow of liver qi. Different languages, same physiology. Every disaster you rehearse costs real fuel, but disaster never comes, so the energy is simply spent with nothing to show for it. This is why people who catastrophize feel so deeply tired. They're not lazy. They're exhausted by battle that were never fought against enemies that never arrived. Now, let's get to the deepest layer, the soul. This is where catastrophic thinking does its quietest and perhaps most serious damage. When your mind always expects the worst, the future steps being a place of possibility and become a threat, a thing to be survived, not lived. So you stop living forward and start bracing, and slowly it erodes your trust in life, in other people, in your own strengths to handle what comes. At the deepest level, a human being needs to believe the future is worth walking into. Catastrophic thinking quietly takes that belief away, and when hope and meaning fade, the body, the chemistry, and energy all get worse. So you can see why I say catastrophic thinking is not just a thought. It lives on all four levels at once: anatomy, chemistry, energy, and soul. And that tells us something about healing. If a problem lives on four levels, treating only one is rarely enough. Talk therapy alone may not be enough. A medication alone may not be enough. If you calm the mind but ignore the depleted body, you're feeling the leaking bucket. This is the difference between treating a disease and creating health. The whole theme of the work I do. Medical care reaches for one lever after something breaks. Healthcare lands all four, so the pattern has somewhere to unwind. Let me give you something concrete. Let's start with anatomy. Interrupt alarms through the body. You can't argue your nerve system down, but you can breathe it down. Alarm exhale in for 4, out for 6 or 8 tells the body the tiger has left. Do it the moment you catch the spiral before the thought wings. Chemistry, stop feeding the cycle. Steady blood sugar, potentially at breakfast, not just coffee, and asking your own doctor about nutrients chronic stress depletes. Magnesium, zinc, B vitamins, small chemistry changes make the brain less flammable. Energy, train the brain out of overdrive. Protect sleep like prescription. It is when brain leaves high gear. Rhythmic, restoring input, a walk, acupuncture, real rest, does what willpower cannot. At a soul level, name the future you're bracing against. Catastrophizing thrives in the vague. Write actual fear outcome in one sentence. Then the one thing you would do if it happened. Naming it shrinks it and reminds you that you would in fact cope. None of this is a magical cure. Healing takes time, and every path is different. But work together across 4 dimensions, real and lasting change becomes possible. You do not have to live braced for a disaster that never comes. If you saw yourself in Daniel today, the racing mind, the constant bracing, know that it is not a character flaw. It is a pattern your whole body has learned, and the patterns can be changed. This is exactly the shift I'm writing about in my Epoch Health series, the next 250 years, from treating disease to creating health. The link is below. I would love your story in that conversation. Please read my Substack posts in details. Link is below. If you want the practical 4-dimensional tools, my courses for the public are linked too. Share this with someone whose mind never seems to rest. Subscribe and leave your questions in the comments. I read everyone.